the video, throughout the presentation today, if you have any questions or you need me to stop, slow down, repeat something, please don't hesitate to reach out. If a question pops into your head, this really is an opportunity to provide some support for you folks that kind of tries to make life a little easier for you. So if you want to ask a question, please don't hesitate to let me know. If at any point you think you're missing something that I'm talking about, as in you don't have it on your computer, please jot it down and then email me after the session, because then I can make sure that that gets installed or you get that feature added to your account. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I apologize if it looks like I'm not going to be looking at the camera, because I'm managing two screens back and forth. So I'll be looking down, I'll be looking up. And let's take a look at productivity tools to support teachers. So these are the areas we're going to look at today. We're going to look at Outlook, and within Outlook, we're going to look at Google integration, how Drive, Calendar, and Meet function within it. We're going to look at the Outlook calendar and how you can add Google calendars to that and manage them. We're going to look at Barracuda, which is the spam filter, as well as the archiver. We're going to talk about setting up contact groups for parents in PowerSchool if you haven't done that before. We're going to look at the web Outlook app for Outlook, and we're going to talk a little bit about ClassLink and what that means for you. So first thing is we're going to look at maximizing the use of Outlook. The more I've used Outlook over the last 10, 15 years, the more I realize that it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of communication and organization for me. So if I go ahead and pull up Outlook, the first thing we're going to look at is the Google Drive desktop app. So when I pull up Outlook and I'm opened up to my inbox right here, I'm going to look at the top right-hand side of the screen, and I should see Google Drive. And then it says Save Attachments, and it's actually shaded out. There's nothing I can click on right now. If you don't have that, please let me know right now. Say, I don't have that Google Drive Save Attachments icon at all. Anybody not have it? Okay. If at any point when you're opening Outlook and you go to find this or anything we talk about when it comes to Google, that is not there, or it's giving you an error if you're trying to use it, the way in which you're going to be able to find out if it's actually running is going to the bottom of the screen.
Jeff, I don't. Oh, we're going to. Hold on.
Sure.
I don't have that.
Okay. So what I would ask you to do, and everyone should do this just so I can show you where everything is. On the bottom of the screen in the taskbar, there should be a caret, a little up arrow. It says Show Hidden Icons. If you click on that, there's going to be some smaller icons. And one of them is the Google Drive icon in my screen. Now, mine is solid colors of the rainbow in a triangle. Now, do you have that, Erin, in that window?
No.
Okay. And if it is there.
Oh, wait, yeah, it's there, but it's gray.
It's gray. Okay. So what you want to do is click on it, and it's going to ask you to sign in. And if you already have it up and running, you might get a screen that's got like clouds and it says everything is up to date. That means you're up and running totally fine.
So now it should be back on my.
So if you go back down into the toolbar, check it and make sure it's solid colors.
Nope, it's still gray. Oh, wait, hold on. I think it was just slow. Yep, now it's colored.
Okay, so if it's colored now, you want to close Outlook
and reopen it.
Outlook, and it should give you a window that says connect to Google add-ons or something like that. If you ever go to the bottom of the screen and click on that caret and it's not in that list at all, what you're going to do is go over where it says type here to search, and you're just going to go ahead and type Google Drive app.
So I have it now, Jeff, but it's gray on the top?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
So you can see under here it says Google Drive app. So if I don't have that in that taskbar at all, I click on that and it launches it.
Okay. So now, it's fine that it's gray right now?
It's gray because you are probably on an email like I am. I'm on an email right now from Heather Neal. and there is no attachment. So there's nothing to save. If I scroll down and go to the payroll, we got our direct deposit yesterday. Yay, pay week, right? I've got a PDF. That's an attachment that I can click Save Attachments, and I can save it right into my Google Drive. So if you get any attachments for like teacher evaluation from Jen or your evaluator, if you get something specific that you know that, look, I don't like to save things on my desktop or my computer because I know if my computer crashes, I'm not going to be able to get that back. I do recommend that you save your attachments directly to your Google Drive. That prevents those attachments from being saved to your desktop. Then you've got to go and find it, then upload it to Drive. You can save it directly to Drive. Another function of this Google Drive add-on is when you go and click New Email. So if I was going to click on a new email and send something to, let's say, Jim, because Jim is just above me in my screen, so I'm going to be picking on Jim today. So I got Jim that I'm going to send an email to. I can insert a file or a link from Drive. So again, instead of having to download the file, upload the file, I can actually insert the file as a link. So if I click Insert Drive Link and I pick on the tree frog, I can send that link to that file and Jim would have that. Or I can send it as an actual attachment. So instead of the link to the file, it'll actually copy that file into the email and you can open that email and download it or save it to your Drive. So if I insert attachment, now I've got that attachment right here. So your attachments always go under the subject where it says attached, and then the links always go below your signature block if you have a signature block. Finally, if I'm sending Jim documents that I want him to be able to look at, maybe we have a meeting we're going to have, and I want him to review those documents, I can also create a Google Meet right within my email by clicking on Add a Meeting. Once I click on it, it automatically creates a Google Meet link in the email, and I can send that, and then Jim has that right at his fingertips in the email. Instead of creating a Google Meet in your calendar or creating it on Google Meets, copying it, pasting, oh, I missed a letter in the link, it doesn't work. This works whenever that app is running. Any questions about inserting files or adding a meeting in an email? So here's kind of the game changer with the Google stuff. I know you have conferences coming up, and let's say that I'm going to use Stephanie as an example. Let's say Stephanie has a meeting coming up with parents, and she's got other staff members that are supposed to be in on that meeting. Let's say it's a 504 for math intervention. So what she can do is, instead of creating an event in her calendar, creating a Google Meet link, copying the link, sending an email to everybody, oh my goodness, what was that link? Where did I put it? I can't find it. What you can do is you can go into new items, and you can create a meeting right in Outlook. And when I create the meeting, what I can do is I can say, this is going to be going to Stephanie Marvin. Except it's not Stephanie Marvin, it's Steph Whistler. Why don't you say something?
No, it is.
It's just not Marvin in Outlook.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, oh, no, don't go back to that.
All right. So I'm trying to invite Stephanie to my meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and say 504 for Jeff. And then what I'm going to do is I would want to schedule the meeting for a date and time. So I'm going to actually schedule it for the 4th at 10 a.m. So what I can do on the right-hand side, this is pretty cool. On the right-hand side, I can see that there are no conflicts in my calendar or Steph's calendar for 10 o'clock on Thursday. If I was going to add Jen to this, it's going to search her Outlook calendar and see that there are no conflicts on Thursday at 10 for Steph, Jen, or I. If I scroll down, I'm going to see that here are the conflicts for Jen. She can't meet at 8, 9, 9:30. She can't meet at 11. She can't meet at 11:30. Oh, no, I can't meet at 11:30 because I have an appointment already. So it tells me the conflicts. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a much easier way to schedule things so that you don't have to keep going back and forth. Hey, are you available Thursday at 10? No. Can you do Friday at 1? No, I can't. et cetera, et cetera. So that's a really great way to do that. Now, once you have your time straightened out, you can go to the top right and say add a meeting. I'm going to take Jen off there because I don't want her getting the invite, but I don't mind if Stephanie does. So I'm going to go ahead and I would create this meeting for Steph and click send. So they're going to get an email. Steph's going to get an email for a meeting on Thursday at whatever time I sent it. Now, what I can do is I can go to my Outlook calendar. And in my Outlook calendar, I can look at Thursday. And I can see that this is a 5:04 meeting right here for Jeff with Stephanie. And there's my Google link. So everything is in one place. Now, I don't want to have that event anymore because I don't need Steph to be trying to figure out why she has a meeting with me. So I can go up on the top left and click cancel meeting and then send cancellation. So Stephanie is going to unfortunately get an invite to a meeting from me and then get a cancellation immediately following. But it's great because it stores it right in your Outlook calendar. So I really think that's a really good tool for folks to use if they want to create a meeting or they're setting up meetings with multiple people and they want to use a Google link. Any questions about the calendar and the integration? Sorry, go ahead.
I just clicked on like an email that Jen had written to me and Emily Wade, and I clicked that meeting, and it automatically included everyone on that email in a new meeting.
Yep.
That's great. Thanks.
Yeah, So if you're replying back or you're opening that meeting and you want to add a meeting, it'll actually include everyone in that link to that meeting. Yeah, thank you, Susie, for pointing that out. Signatures. So it's really important in today's phishing scams that we try to include a signature block. So if I look at Kate Aries' last email that came in, I can see she's got her credentials, her information at the bottom of that email that she sent. If I look at Heather Neal, I see Heather Neal's got credentials here. So it's a great way to have something included in an email so that it makes it a little bit more authentic. And plus, you know, my daughters are twins at Ellington High School. And when I get an email from a teacher that says your daughter has this and they don't sign it, I have no idea who it is, what it's about. I don't know if it's a phishing scam, if it's some sort of spam email. I like to see credentials. So that way, if I want to reach out to someone via phone and leave a message or respond back, I know who I'm talking to. So in order to set this up, what you're going to need to do is actually start a new email. So I'm going to click new email. And you can see when I click new email, my signature block comes up for this computer and it says Jeffrey A. Spivey, Ed Tech Coach, generally great guy, and my phone number, as well as my building or my who I work for. If I want to create one and you don't have one, on the top middle section of that new email, there's a signature icon. And when you click it, I've got already one created for work. Then there's another icon for signatures. If you don't have it created, you're only going to have signatures. Once you click on it, you're going to have a blank box here, and it's going to have deleted, save, and rename grayed out, and only new is available. On the right, it's going to say your email account. Now, on my computer, I have both my Coventry CT email and I have my Google email, the CPS CTG one. If you don't have them both, this would be a great time to jot that down if you want to have them both so that you don't have to go to Outlook to look for your Coventry CT and then go online to Gmail to find your Gmail emails. I have them both in Outlook so I can check them together at the same time. Now, when I want to create a new signature block, I click new, I give it a name. I'm going to call it Jeff Alt for alternate. And then it gives me a blank box at the bottom. This is the one I'm going to use for replies. I just write all the best, Jeff Spivey, because if I'm replying to someone, they've already emailed me, so they must know who I am. Or I'm replying back to someone who I've already emailed and my original signature block was in that. So I want this email address not to go to new messages. I want it to go to replies. So I'm going to click Jeff Alt. So CoventryCT.org is in my work one, which again is this one right here. That's my work one. And that's my alternate one. So my new messages go to work. And my replies and forwards are going to use alt. And now because I have both, I can click on J. Spivey Coventry CT and change it to my Google, and also assign signatures for those as well. Once I'm done assigning my signatures, I can click OK, and that will be set. In addition, when you're creating your signatures, you can go ahead and highlight the text. You can change the font style if you wanted to. You can change the size of the font. You can make it bold, italicized, underlined. You can add links to it if you want to create a web link, if you have a page on the website that you want parents to be able to go to. Some folks in specialty areas may have a math intervention page, may have a reading intervention page. It may be a website you've created for your class. Could be a social media site if you're posting photos of students, like with projects and stuff. What I don't recommend you do that some people do is they actually take a picture of their actual signature and they use that as their signature. I don't recommend that because anybody can copy that and then they can paste that into a document. So that's not a very smart, secure thing to do. So I would caution against using your actual signature in the signature block. Once we click OK, and I close this, so if I want to reply to Kate and I click reply, all the best Jeff Spivey comes up because that's my reply signature. If I want to make a new email, my full credentials signature block comes up. The other part that I want to talk about when it comes to sending new email is because I have both the Coventry CT and I have the CPS CTG, I can send from either account. So right now, because I'm in my Coventry CT inbox and I hit new email, it comes up as Coventry CT. Now, I've made the mistake of being in my CPS account and click new email to contact a parent, and now it's sending it from my Gmail account. So I always double check to make sure that I click the from and I pick Coventry CT. So that's one way to make sure that your email is going to be going to the proper person. If you have both, you're going to be able to send it from multiple locations. Any questions about the email signatures? BCC. How many people, when you start a new email, do not see the BCC line right here? You don't. All right, there's one. Who else doesn't have BCC? I'm asking that because when you email your parent group list, you always want to use BCC because you don't want to be the one that gets in trouble for sending all these parents each other email addresses, especially if there's an outside conflict. So if you don't have that, what you're going to do is when you start a new email, at the top of the screen, it's the first tab that's opened is message. You want to go to the right to options. Underneath options, you want to make sure you click under the word options BCC, and then it inserts that BCC field. Once you've done that once, it's done on that computer. Anybody have any questions about BCC?
Thanks.
Yep.
That's helpful.
Yeah, you got to be down with BCC. You know me. All right. Nobody gets my 80s. Jim did. Jim got it.
I got it.
All right. All right. So a lot of people have been asking about Google Calendars to Outlook, and why do we need to use Google Calendars if we have calendars in the public section of Outlook? Well, the reason is because, and now on the Messenger, I don't work for Microsoft, so please don't take it out on me. Microsoft is going to stop supporting with their new release of Office, the external network shared calendars. They're not going to support it anymore. So we needed to find a way in which we could have calendars available to folks that are building-wide calendars. So I know Mara has sent everyone 5 calendars to quote unquote like subscribe to, and that can get messy. And like, why do I have to look at all these calendars? So I'm going to spend some time talking about that right now. I'm going to open a new tab and I'm going to go to my Google Calendars. And when I get into my Google Calendars, what I'm going to see here is in this lavender color, I'm going to see all these events. And all these events are inserted into the calendar through the GHR events calendar in Google. So Mara invited me to that calendar. I signed up for it. And now I can see it in my Google Calendar. I don't like to have 50 calendars available to me because it gets very, very like unorganized and messy. So if I don't want GHR events to show up, I simply uncheck it in my Google Calendar and all those events disappear. They're not deleted. They're just not showing up because I don't have that calendar selected. At the top of your calendars list should be your name in Google. Google Calendar list should be your name. If your calendar is not up there, that's going to be a problem because what happens is it's going to default to whatever calendar is at the top. You don't want to change the name of that calendar and you don't want to hide it or remove it. Because when you go to create your appointments for your conferences or open house, it looks like it's going to be the next one down. So if I hid mine, it's going to create that under CGS resources for families. And basically when I create an event in CGS resources for families, anybody who has teacher access to that Google Classroom can change my events. And I don't want them to do that. So you always make sure that you have your Google Calendar on the top and that one's checked off.
Jeff, could you, for some reason, GHR events is not on mine, and maybe because I never accepted an invitation or an invitation. Would you mind sharing that out with the group on here again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, what I have to do is I have to go in and I have to re-add you. I don't even see you on here, Susie.
Yeah, I definitely don't have it on mine, so I don't know. I must have missed something, Who knows?
Jim, are you on there? Sorry, let me just look. I'm going to look for Jim. No, Jim's not on there.
What are we looking for?
Abigail.
On my end, it shows it that I'm on there, but it
Oh,
doesn't
you know why? You accepted it when she sent it to CGS staff. That's probably why. Jim, do you see the GHR calendar in your Google Calendars?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. How about Lauren? Okay. How about Aaron and Steph? And Cherie?
I have it, yes.
Okay. So what happened was Mara initially invited everyone with GHR staff at cpsctg.org. But if you didn't elect to sign up to it, then you don't see it. But if you ended up deleting that email, then your name didn't pop in and she had to send it individually. So Susie, you should have an invite now in Gmail that allows you to click on that. And actually I need to make it so that you can make changes. Okay. So I'm talking about looking at these calendars in Google Calendar, but that still doesn't help me in Outlook because this is where I spend a lot of my time. And if I want to be able to see them in Outlook, I've got to be able to see them in my calendars here. And as you can see, I'm going to actually pop these out and separate them. As you can see, I've got my Coventry CT calendar in blue. I've got my Google Calendar in pink. And I've got my GHR calendar in green. And if I look over to the side, it's very similar to the Google Calendar where I can see the calendars that are showing are checked and GHR events is checked. So I got to explain, how did I get my GHR events in my Outlook calendar? In order to do that, what we have to do is go back to the Google Calendar. In the Google Calendars, you'll scroll down till you find the calendar you want to add. And you have 5 of them that you were invited to. So you're going to need to do this for each of those 5. And I'm going to click the 3 dots next to the GHR events one. And I get 3 choices: display, hide, or settings. I'm going to go to settings. And under settings, I'm going to scroll down until I see integrate calendars. Integrate calendar. And there's a whole bunch of links. The one that I want is the one that's got the dots over it that says secret address in iCal format. This is the one that's going to allow you to be able to edit the calendar if you need to. So when I see secret address in iCal format, I'm going to click the little copy to clipboard. And you're going to get a message that says security warning. You should not give the secret address to other people. Because if you share that secret address to anyone and they add it, they're also going to have edit access. So that's why they make it a secret address.
Jeff, I don't have that.
For GHR events?
Yeah, I went on to.
Me neither. I don't either.
I don't either.
Well, I will look into that. You can, above it, you can copy the HTTPS calendar, this one right here in public address in iCal format. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can copy that one. I just don't know if it's going to give you edit access. So I'll have to look into that. I'm going to write that down. Can you do me a favor? Can you check under your name, the one for your name, and scroll down and see if you have a secret address?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So if you wanted to include yours, you could do it that way too. Once you copy that link, you need to go to Outlook. And when you're in Outlook, top left corner, you're going to click File. That's going to take you to the account information page. Underneath the account information, you're going to see account settings. It's a square box. We're going to click the square box and we're going to get 4 choices. We're going to go ahead to account settings again, the top choice, just above delegate access. Now it's going to bring it into the heart of the account settings. You've got all these tabs across. You got to be really careful here because if you do anything under the email section, you can disconnect your email account. Is it an email account that we're adding? Lauren says no. Lauren is right. It's a calendar, right? So we're going to click on the Internet Calendars tab. And you can see that I've already got GHR and I've got Spivey Google here because I've already done this. If you want to add that, you're going to click New. And then you're going to get a space to enter that calendar link that you copied. So we'll go ahead and paste that in. And then you're going to click Add. And when you click Add, I think it asks you to name it, to give it a name. And then it also asks you, do you want this calendar to show up on another computer that's signed in with this account or something like that? You want to say yes. Because if Abigail goes ahead and let's say her computer crashes and she needs to get a new computer, or Aaron, your computer's ready for replacement and we bring you a new one, you want to automatically have those calendars imported. So when you go ahead and sign in the first time and you sign into that email, it's going to import those accounts instead of having to re-add them all over again. And then when you're done, you're going to see it in the list of internet calendars. And then you click Close. And when you go to the calendar page, you'll see them. Now mine are separated. If I am looking at these calendars and I want to be able to organize my day, and let's say I want to have an event on Thursday, or let's say Tuesday, I need to know if something's happening in one part of the building. It could be a lab. It could be the 4th grade little closet that they use for meetings. So I like to have these overlapping each other. Right now they're separated. If you have multiple calendars, next to the name in the tab, you'll see an arrow that points to the left. If you click on it, it overlaps them. So now I've got my Google Calendar overlapping my Coventry CT calendar. If I click the GHR events one, it's going to overlap that calendar as well. So now I can see I have a productivity tools for Outlook session that's the same time as grade 5 Chinese. So I know that if these were 2 events happening, I need to make sure I find a different place if I wanted that location. So let's say I was going to book something Thursday in the computer lab and I had the computer lab calendar. I can see what times I couldn't use. I don't like to have 5, 6 calendars showing up. So if I don't need to see the GHR events, I can just uncheck it on the left side and that calendar goes away. When I need to use it again, I click that checkbox and it pops back in. If you run into any issues with importing those calendars, again, someone asked in the last session, so I've already done the GHR events one. Do I need to do the other ones again and again and again? Yes, you have to import all of them separately, just like we went through those steps. And, you know, these steps will be annotated in the video so that when I share the video with you, you'll be able to go back and look at it. I would never imagine that I'm going to present this one time and you'll all remember as soon as we're done today with how to do that. Does anybody have any questions about the calendars? None? Okay, good. So I'm going to go back to my presentation. We've talked about Google Archived and email and spam. All right. In Outlook, the top right corner of the screen, when you have that main screen, you should see next to the Google Drive, Barracuda Networks. And under Barracuda Networks, there are two distinct things that you need to make sure you have. One is the search archive, and the other one is mark as spam, mark as not spam. If you're missing either of those two, you want to jot that down and email me that information, because then I can go ahead and get that added to your system. Those of you that have search archive, if you click on it, it's going to open up and it's going to ask you to enter your password. And it didn't ask me for mine because I already used it today. So it's going to bring you to another page here. So your login and password are the same as your Google account, your login to your computer account, your PowerSchool account. And now if I wanted to search for an email message that I have passed back, like I can't find a message in my inbox. I deleted it. I've emptied my inbox, and it was from Jim. So I'm going to type in Jim Duanchek. Hopefully I spell it right. And I'm going to click search. And now what this is going to do is it's going to search through every email I've ever received, forwarded. Jim's name is in because I didn't change the entire message. So I could choose one of these, but it's going to be in the inbox, anything. And if I scroll down, I'm seeing every message between Jim and I for the past year because I only set it to 1 year. If I wanted to, I can look for every message I've ever sent and received to Jim since we both started working in Coventry. Any questions about the archive and how to search it? And again, you can have deleted the email message and deleted it from the deleted, and we still have a backup of it. This has saved a few staff members when parents have communicated that I never received a message from the staff member and I emailed them 3 weeks ago. And we pull it up and there it is. There's the sent message from the staff member. And unfortunately, the parent sent them the wrong email address. And that happens. But we're able to back this, we're able to help staff members. The other part is the mark as spam, mark not as spam. So I got this message from Kate today. Let's just say this was from someone that I don't recognize and it looks a little suspicious. It could be a vendor asking if I want to purchase something and they keep bugging me and I don't want to read it anymore. You can click on that. You can unsubscribe, of course. But you can also go to the top right where it says mark as spam and click on that. I don't want to do that to Kate because then I won't get any of Kate's emails, and those are very important. If it's something that has gone into the spam messages, like let's say you're communicating with a presenter outside of Coventry and it keeps going to spam because something in their email address looks suspicious, but it's not, you can also click mark as not spam, and that will enable the system to recognize that. The mark as spam and mark as not spam is kind of a community effort. The more people that mark something as spam, the higher likely the system will be to recognize it and block it. Same thing with mark as not spam. Just because you mark it as spam doesn't mean it's going to get deleted from your inbox. You're going to want to go ahead and also delete it from your inbox as well if it is spam. PowerSchool email. So a lot of people at the beginning of the year ask me, how can I create group lists of all my parents so that I can send emails very quickly? So I'm going to spend some time going over that briefly. In Power Teacher, I've actually been able to borrow account. I'm using Sarah Wood, and she was gracious enough to let me hijack her account today. And what we're going to do is when you open up Power School, you see that little envelope next to every class you have. So for her class, I'm going to pick the little envelope next to homeroom and click on it. It's then going to give me every email address for all the parents who have put an email address in Power School. All the way at the bottom, I've got this giant list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that list and I'm going to copy it. Now, yes, it would be very easy for me just to go ahead and hit new email and paste that in there, but it won't work because there are commas that separate the email addresses. Plus, I want to create a group list for these parents so that I don't have to keep going to Power School to pull it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click new items. I'm going to click new email first. I'm going to create a new email, and this is just so I can edit that list. I'm going to go ahead and paste those emails in the body of the email. I'm only using this as a tool. I'm not actually going to send it. Now I need to get rid of all these commas. So who has time to click before each comma, delete it, and add a semicolon? Not me, and I know you don't have the time. So what I'm going to do is on my keyboard, I'm going to press Control F, which is find and replace. I'm going to click replace in the middle, and I'm going to find what? I need to find all the commas and replace all the commas with a semicolon. And then I'm going to click replace all. Now that's 40 commas I've replaced in just under a fraction of a second. Then I'm going to close it. Now all my parent emails have semicolons. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this again. And now I've got to create my group list. So I can minimize that email. I'm going to go to new items. And I'm going to create contact. Nope, I'm going to go to more items and create a contact group. Contact group. And now I'm going to name this Wooden 21, 22. And I've named it, and now I've got to add my members. So I'm going to click Add Members from Outlook Contacts. And at the bottom, next to Members, I'm going to paste my list of semicolon separated emails, and then click OK. And now all my emails are listed for my parents, all 40 emails. And now I click Save and Close. That group list is created. Now, when I want to email those parents, I'm going to click New Email. And remember, I'm going to go to BCC, and I'm going to start typing Wooden, and it pops up right away. And that's that group list. Ready to rock and roll, ready to email. Again, I will timestamp this in the video to give you an opportunity to go back and review if you need to do that. I will be blurring out the names of the parent emails, though. Questions about using Power School to create your email list? Okay. Moving right along. I got about 11 minutes. Outlook web portal. So the Outlook web portal provides you an opportunity to look at email and look at your calendars through the web service. When you sign in, I want to briefly go over a couple of cool little features. One of the features is that you're going to see this time to change your password pop up probably every time you open it. Ignore it. You don't have to change your password. If you get a request to change your password and you don't want to, you can ignore that message. We do not require password changes anymore. We used to do 90 days, but we changed the credentials at the beginning of the school year to 12 characters. So if you have changed your password to start the year, you do not need to change it again, even if you get that message. On the gear, you click the gear, and we hit options. Once we go to options, the one that I want to focus on is under general, my account. And if you scroll down, you're going to see how much of your mailbox you're using. And just above that, it says change your password. So if you wanted to change your password and you're working from home or on your Chromebook, but not at your computer, you can do that through the Outlook portal. You can change your theme. You can create distribution groups. One of the things that I think is important is I am a frequent phone changer. So every year or two, I get a new cell phone, put my email on it. Under mobile devices, you have a maximum of 9 devices that you can put on there until you're not allowed to put another device on it. So it pays to go into this and see if you have any old phones that you have put your email on and remove them. That way that device is no longer associated with your Outlook account. In addition, under mail, some of the really cool things you can have is this undo send. It's only available on the web portal. If you click undo send, you can let yourself cancel messages you've sent within 5, 10, 15, or 30 seconds. So if you're using the web email and you're emailing a parent or a colleague and you make an error, oh, I forgot to do something, it's going to give you whatever time you select to go up to the top corner and click cancel send. And when you cancel send, it just stops sending that email altogether. There are different types of inbox sweep rules you can have. So if you get an email, like if I get an email from Jim, I want it to go into the Jim Duancheck folder, and it just puts it there automatically for me, and it won't go directly to my inbox. Could be things for like Jen DeRegan. I want to put stuff immediately in my Jen DeRegan folder, and I'll go back and check those later, etc. You can also have email signature created online for that portal, just like you can on Outlook, and it'll include it on any new or replies if you check those boxes. And that is the functions of the options. And then additionally, there's this little tool window up here, an overflow window. If you click on it, you can go to calendar and you can actually see your calendars. And I've imported my Google Calendar already. So that's part of my calendars that I can see. And the last option is people. And this is where you can go in to look at your address book where your contacts are located. So you have your contacts, and then you have the directory. And you can find all the people in our directory. Any questions about the Outlook web portal? I think the last one I'm covering today is ClassLink. So ClassLink for students is a place to go where they have the opportunity in ClassLink to launch apps without having to type passwords in. So when you go to ClassLink, it's going to be your same username and password, and you click sign in, and it's going to ask for 2-factor authentication. I chose to go with the picture. And then once I select it, it's going to bring me to a window that has a whole bunch of different web apps that I could go to. GHR has different web apps. So I know Freckle and Reflex is one of them. I'm pretty sure you have Epic on there. There may be a few more. Zern may be one of them as well. Core 5, I think, might be on there. But in any event, Padlet. In any event, these are quick links. So if you click on it, it'll actually sign you right in. If you go to the top right corner when you sign in and go to settings, you should see the second to last tab is called recovery. If I click on recovery, I have mobile phone, email, and questions. So I've already set up, and they're all blue, they say enabled. I've already set up password recovery. So if I have an issue with my password, I can't remember it, something's wrong, maybe I feel like I got locked out, it's been compromised, I can go ahead after I've set this up. If I sign out of ClassLink, if I need to change that password, I don't have to know the password to change it. I can click on help, I forgot my password, type J Spivey as my username, click the check mark, and then it's going to say, how would you like to recover your password? Questions, email, or cell phone. And it will send you a verification code where you can reset your password by yourself. So I strongly encourage you to go through ClassLink, set up your passcode recovery. That way, if you ever needed to do a password change, you don't have to contact us. You don't have to put a ticket in. You can actually do it on your own. This saves you a lot of time, especially if it's like on a Friday at like 2:30 and we've already left for the day. Or like you're doing it on the weekend and you got grades to put in and you're having trouble getting in. You can actually reset your password if you set up the recovery on your own. Any questions about ClassLink? Okay, so that is the last segment of my presentation. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'm ready. Either you're already focused on checking emails or I did a really good job.
You did a good job, Captain.
That's what I want to hear, Jim.
Although I have a ton of questions the next time you're in the building.
I'm actually going to be popping down in about 10 minutes or so. I'm leaving. I'm going to pop in to see Susie real quick first, and then I can swing by if you need me to.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine.
All right.
I was just kidding.
And just know I'm gonna swing through all the hallways. So if anyone sees me going by or you hear someone talking to me and you need to grab me real quick, please do so. Today's the day to do that if you need me. Otherwise, please don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure that you email us if you're missing any of those components, whether it be the Barracuda archiver, spam filter, or the Google stuff. I'm always happy to help. I know what it's like to be in a classroom. So I know when tech doesn't work, it's very frustrating. So please let me know. I want to make sure you guys are up and running as 100% of the time as possible.
Jeff, do you want us to email you or put a ticket in if we're missing?
You can email me directly and then I'll distribute it to who needs to have it.
Okay.
Jeff, can you combine see me too? I was just curious about adding the Gmail to Outlook.
Yep, definitely.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Bye, guys. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Don't forget to vote.
Lyle Evans.
is not available to take your call.
Yo, it's Spy.
Yo.
Yo.
Oh, jeez. Sorry. Hold on. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep. Hey, can
There
I
we go.
can I merge all those freaking printer things and close them now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because those are the ticket issues that I have open. They're specific issues to the user.
Okay.
And I got to speak with the user in person because basically nobody read the frigging directions, and that's why they can't print.
Kathy just sent the directions out again.
Yeah, I know. But
Can I help in any way? I'm going to GHR. Can I help in any way? Because there's a bunch from there.
I think you are okay. I just pulled out of admin and I'm on my way to GHR right now.
All right. How about Leslie Poland?
I should be good. Leslie, what's Leslie's problem?
I'm sure you've already gotten tickets, but my computer's not seeing any of the CNH copiers printers.
Okay, so for her, first step would be a reboot to make sure that it pulled the group policy.
Yep.
And then if for some reason a reboot doesn't fix that, then we just go to print and double click on CNH Follow Me Print for her to install that print queue, and that's it.
Okay, so Will Scheidemann is the same thing. So I'm going to go take care of the two of them.
Okay.
Hey, when you're at GHR,
Yep.
Susie Adams, I just put a ticket in for her. She doesn't have the Barracuda archiver add-on.
Okay.
If you could pop in and see her about that, that would be really cool.
I could do that.
And Nagy was looking to get Google added, the Google the CPS added to Outlook.
Okay.
She doesn't have it at. If you can't do it, no problem. I got to go anyways.
That one, I can circle back and handle that afterwards, but I got to get around to every building.
All right, I'll take care of that.
Yeah, I don't mind circling back. I just want to get the printers done first.
No, I got to go to GHR, so I'll just take care of it while I'm there.
Okay.